There's been a lot of historical tragedies that give us time to reflect on much that has been lost to us in the cruelty of the issues of race. None more profoundly robbed me of an important part of what I thought my life would be than when Martin was murdered. His death was not just a great loss historically, but in a deep personal sense, I lost a friend.
The cemetery is too small for his spirit. The grave is too narrow for his soul. We commend his legacy of courage and love to ourselves, our children, and our children's children. We commend his life to the universe.
My first reaction was to be mad with him. You got us in all this hell, now you going to heaven and leaving us in hell. Why don't you take us with you? But I was panicked to know how we followed. And we were not able to stay together without him. And the movement began to fragment.
What has happened in the past has been our lives. As older people, we've gone through those different periods. And we have suffered. And we have also made some progress. But this is what our lives were about. The question is the next generation. Because it's not what you have gained, it's what you can maintain. Martin Luther King went to the blackboard and taught us nonviolence. But nonviolence is not confined to any historical period.
He speaks to this generation clearly, as if he's in yesterday's morning paper. His strategies, his philosophy, his worldview remain real today.
He wanted a future world that was changed because of our nonviolent struggles. He wanted his life to be remembered by making the nation realize that nonviolence is what we must, in the end, have.
I think people discovered only after his death that he was more radical than they actually knew. I don't think he wanted us to take anything other than all that we deserve. And that's what radicalism, in the best sense, is about. Using the power that you have to help transform the society for the better.
With Martin Luther King, we have the holiday and we talk about how wonderful he was. But we really should develop his work. It's our responsibility, everybody's responsibility. There are 300 million of us, and social change is the job of each of us.
When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation and a mandate to do something, to say something, to speak up, to speak out.
He is issuing as much of a call to us today as he was calling to us in 1968. And I hope we will hear that call and finish the next phase of his movement. He talked about the importance of keep going forward. And he said, if you can't fly, you drive. If you can't drive, you run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But keep moving forward.
From 1956 until April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. may have done more to achieve
political, social, economic justice than any other person in the journey of American history.
The problems we have that Martin lived for are still with us. And the complexity of good and evil in this world is going to always be with us. I don't know that anybody struggled with it any more or did any better than Martin King in my lifetime. He always said, we've come a long, long way, but we still got a long way to go. And somewhere, wherever Martin is, he's struggling beyond this place in time and space.
Well, I never like to discuss Martin Luther King's influence. I'm just trying to do a job, and I think it's a job that has to be done. And I'm not trying to do it merely for myself, or merely for my children, or merely for the Negro, but for America, because I think it's true that if this problem isn't solved, the soul of our nation will be lost. And the only way to redeem the soul of America is to remove or to eradicate racism in all of its dimensions.